Quite simply, Mike Brown was born to be a ski racer, a Vail ski racer. Born in 1962, the same year as the ski area, he has had the unique experience of growing up with Vail. Having learned to ski in the parking lot at Arapahoe Basin, Brown graduated to the now-defunct Meadow Mountain ski area at the Minturn exit as part of the Ankle Biters program. He began racing Buddy Werner in 1969 before moving to Ski Club Vail the following year, training with the older kids as the club did not have a full-time age class program.
I started skiing with Mike at Ski Club Vail in the mid-70s, and that was an interesting time for skiing because unlike today, a lot of the athletes weren't siphoned off to snowboarding or park or pipe. In those days, ski racing was everything, and that's particularly true in Vail.
Brown quickly ascended the ranks of the club program, moving from C to A racer status after the first 7 races of the 1976 season. 2 years later, he would capture the Junior Olympic downhill title. Named to the U.S. ski team for the 1980-81 campaign, Mike found himself at the top of the Kandahar World Cup downhill course in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany for his first ever race in Europe, who started 96th and finished 36th in that race.
Well, Mike had the most unique style of anybody I've ever known. If you looked up the mountain and watched Mike Brown ski down the hill, he'd stand out above anybody else. He'd make the toughest terrain look like everything was groomed. Smooth, tough, beautiful arcs, clean, effortless. He made everything look easy.
At the start of the 87-88 season, he was the #1 ranked downhiller in the country. He was on the A team, on the U.S. ski team. And 2 weeks before the Olympics, he won the Super G National Championship and was second in the Downhill National Championship and wasn't selected for the Olympics.
If it was today, Mike Brown would have been named to the Olympic team. However, at the time, the Olympic selection rules were such that the men's and women's team could use a pool number of athletes and not have to fill the quota on a certain place.
I think we're the only team that didn't fill the quota. That really hurt Mike. I think the coaches at the time made a bad decision. It was career ending for Mike. Mike would have been called an Olympian. As far as I'm concerned, Mike is an Olympian.
During the course of his 9 years on the U.S. team, Brown would record a career-best 9th place World Cup downhill performance in Morzine, France in 1986, while also claiming a 12th place showing in the infamous Lauberhorn downhill in Wengen, Switzerland the following season. The 1988 U.S. National Super G champion, Brown's competitive career came to a close in 1989, racing in Vail and Beaver Creek's World Alpine Ski Championship Super G just 6 weeks following back surgery.
A couple years ago at the American Ski Classic in Vail, we were sitting at a round table having lunch, and Mark Giardelli was sitting at the table, and this is a guy who's won 5 overall World Cup titles, and he's won events in every discipline. I think he has 56 World Cup titles. He's very well respected. And the subject of Mike Brown came up, and Mark just said, you know, he just sat there for a minute and thought about Mike and said, you know what, if Mike had my skis, he'd have won a lot of races.
The transition from athlete to coach was an easy one for Mike. He joined the coaching staff of the U.S. Disabled Ski Team and began a 7-year career coaching adaptive athletes up through Paralympians, serving as assistant coach for both the Albertville and Lillehammer Paralympics. During his tenure, the athletes became the strongest team in the world across every classification, and finish times improved by as much as 20 seconds in some events.
You know, one of the things that Mike did was, depending on your level of disability, amputation or spinal cord injury or whatever it was, that they started looking at the times very, very carefully and looking at the time deltas, the factors. So that's developed into now a factoring system so that, you know, you do get a time factor, a race factor, depending on your level of disability, and it really revolutionized the way that, you know, adaptive skiers now compete.
He mentored the likes of Greg Menino, Rick Hyde, Kathy Gentili, Diana Golden, and Sarah Will, while his coaching approach and dedication led to Menino and Monty Meyer competing in able-bodied FIS events, something that no one had considered possible.
Mike was the right guy at the right time to help grow disabled skiing. And you see it today from every Paralympics continues to grow because of some of the things that Mike put into place at the time.
I would say one of the things that Mike did for us as disabled athletes was that he revolutionized the way we skied. He truly took us from being sliders to being skiers.
With his Paralympic athletes, they set records left and right that'll probably stand forever.
In 2002, Brown experienced a life-changing event when a spinal fusion surgery went awry, sidelining him for a number of years. Now, Mike has returned to skiing, sharing his passion for the sport with his young daughter. While still not able to be on the hill coaching every day, he hopes to return and spend as much time as he can helping young skiers. After traveling the world as a ski racer and coach, Mike Brown has never wanted a home other than Vail. You can blame it on ski racing, says Brown, the legacy of excellence in everything. Our community is so much bigger now, and to be a part of it, the excellence that began with ski racing is phenomenal. It's like, wow, look what we did.
Well, Brownie, it's been a long time coming. I'm so happy and proud.
On behalf of everybody at Adaptive Spirit and Ski Tem, we absolutely are so excited to see you be elected into the Colorado Ski Hall of Fame.
Congratulations on your nomination to the Colorado Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. It's been 40 great years, and I look forward to another 40 great years.
Hey Brownie, coming to you from the top of Australia, Mount Cosy in the background, our highest peak. You're getting inducted on this weekend, which is awesome, mate. I've got to say, from my days in World Cup, without having you around would have been pretty bloody boring. You're a great sportsman, great athlete, and a great buddy. So congratulations, mate. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Tonight, we are proud to induct Mike Brown into the Colorado Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame. It's like, wow, look what you did.